Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another great episode of Tommy Maroon Sports Show right here on WCTV. It looks like it should be fun out here as we're going to start off with the Cleveland Indians or Guardians or whatever you want to call them. First things first, our team leaders. The leader in home runs, RBIs, and stolen bases is on your screen right there, Jose Ramirez. And would you look at that? Jose Ramirez last week was wearing a chain of himself. That's right. He's wearing a chain of Jose Ramirez. How funny is that? How cool is that? I have to say, I really should get that. I hope someone makes another copy of it because I would love to have it. Anyways, he leads us in home runs with 31 and RBIs with 84 and stolen bases with 19. And Ahmed leads us in average with an incredible 283, and that went up when he went 5 for 5 last night with 2 home runs, one of them being an inside the Parker and another one being a 2-run bomb. It was Ahmed's game. Ahmed batted .372 in August. Time we kept pitching. Aaron Savali still leads us in wins with 10. Hard to believe, even though he's been hurt for so long. Emmanuel Clase leads us in saves with 19. Cal Quantrill leads us in innings pitched with 116.2. He's on my fantasy team. So is Ahmed. So is Aaron Savali. Zach Plezak leads us in games started, heading into today was 19, but now 20. Series recaps. Against the Rangers, we won 2-1. You had a home run and 2 RBIs in Game 2. Oscar and Austin had home runs each in Game 2. Brad Beal, who is also, I repeat, also on my fantasy team, 2 RBIs in Game 3. And Vader Zim, Bradley Zimmer, home run, 3 RBIs in Game 3. And we went over 500. By the way, we're 65 and 64 as of now. Indians, Red Sox weekend series. Well, we blew the series 2-1. Jose and you had home runs each in Game 1, but Jonathan Aruz, I don't know how to pronounce it. Sorry about that, but he had a 3-run bomb in Game 1. And then Franmil had a home run in Game 2, which was great to see. But J.D. Martinez in extra innings had a 3-run bomb in Game 2. And then Austin tied up this contest with a home run. Game 3. And when I mean this contest, I mean the one that you're seeing on your screen. Look at Miles Straw making good catches. I must say, it's really cool to see Miles Straw in there. He is that good. And we pulled ahead in the 8th inning to win during Game 3. That was, of course, not good for the Cleveland Indians, but a good cannon there that was over the head. I think that was Daniel Johnson. Bobby Bradley had a 2-run bomb. Bobby Bradley hasn't made that much noise lately, but it's good to see Bobby Bradley finally do something. But yeah, how many Indians players do I have on my fantasy team? I have Ahmed, I have Franmil, who's sitting down my bench, Aaron Savali, who's on my injured list, and Cal Quantrill. 4 Indians players. Kind of cool, I must say. Kinda cool. Yes, sir. It was a great game, to say the least. Time for NASCAR, the Coke Zero Sugar 400. Ryan Blaney won the last race of the regular season out there at Daytona, despite leading for 7 laps. Chase Elliott won Stage 1, Joey Logano Stage 2. How about this? Bubba Wallace, a surprising second-place finish. That ties the 2018 Daytona 500 for his highest finish, which was quite surprising. Speaking of surprises, Ryan Preece finished up in 4th place, and Justin Haley ended up in 6th place. Garrett Smithley caused the wreck with 25 laps to go. But the big one was when there were 19 laps remaining. I saw it and I couldn't believe it. There it is for you folks. It brought out the red flag. There were 13 laps to go. There was Tyler Reddick right there. It was crazy. 9 people involved in it. And Tyler Reddick, he was out of the race. It restarted with 13 laps. Well, he wasn't out of the race, but he's still pretty good. There's Chase Elliott crashing into Matthew DiBenedetto and another big wreck. There were so many wrecks in this race. So many of them. Definitely not a clean race. 7 cautions, as you can tell. And that really hurt Chase Elliott's chances of winning the race. It was a very crazy race and a great way to end the playoff season. Speaking of which, time for NASCAR playoffs. 16 races made it. Round of 16 starts off at the track too tough to tame. That's right, we're talking about Darlington. Then after that, it's Richmond, Bristol, 2 straight short tracks as there are more crashes right there. Basically gave Ryan Blaney the victory out there, which was good for him. Definitely happy about that, I'm assuming, was Blaney. Definitely very happy. But yeah, then comes the round of 12, which is also 3 races long. It's at Las Vegas and Talladega, and then the Charlotte Road Course. After that comes a round of 8 where you see Texas, Kansas, and the short track Martinsville. And then the championship race, which is at the mile-long Phoenix Speedway, which is on November 7th. I can't wait for it. I really think it's going to be a great postseason. Time for Tommy's picks because why not? First things first, high school football. We have the final scores out there. Highland taking down North Royalton 24-21. Then Medina beat Avon 34-17. Mentor beat St. Ignatius 28-26 in close game there. Brunswick beat Olmsted Falls Bulldogs 28-21. Aurora beat St. B. St. M 31-14. And on the last play of the game, Hudson took down Euclid on the road, a last-second 61-yard Hail Mary, I believe, and it gave the Explorers a big win. Virgin Catholic of New Jersey took down Archbishop Holben 42-7. And speaking of Archbishop Holben, time for perhaps the weirdest, quote, scandal I have ever seen. Now, if you recall, a little while ago, Archbishop Holben played this school. Now, this is so weird. They played this school called Bishop Sycamore in Columbus. And for those that are unaware, Bishop Sycamore doesn't even exist. It's a bunch of JUCO college football players who just got together in Columbus. I never heard of it. And as someone who follows high school football, I've never heard of Bishop Sycamore. And as someone religious, I never heard of a Bishop Sycamore before in the past. I'm like, you know what? That is a weird name, Bishop Sycamore. I thought that to myself. And not just that, but they played 2 games in 3 days. I'm sorry. They played 2 games in 3 days. One of the weirdest things ever. And now they've lost 4 opponents because of the controversy. And now the coach, or the quote, coach has been fired from this quote school. If you go to their Twitter account, it's Bishop Sycamore. There are 2,693 followers on there. And they got absolutely annihilated to their opponents too, by the way. And they're on ESPN. They're on ESPN. ESPN, for some reason, thought Bishop Sycamore was a real school. I can't believe it. I don't know how. They played on ESPN. Oh my God. What on earth? ESPN has been duped. They've been Smeckledorf. That's not even a word, and I agree with you. SpongeBob reference, by the way. So it makes no sense. They're on ESPN. They just popped up last year, and they played these schools, and it's a bunch of junior college people. They played 2 games in 3 days. The coach has an arrest warrant, and now the coach has been fired. His name is Roy Johnson. If you go on Bishop Sycamore's website, if I can find it right here, the Bishop Sycamore website, our website is coming soon. That's what it says. And when you click on it, it used to say about us, but here's what it says. Our website is coming up soon. Or our site is coming soon. I'm going to turn up the brightness for you all to see. But yeah, look at that. That is so weird. I don't know if that's funny. I don't know if it is horrible. I just think it's so weird. I mean, they said that they had a number of Division I prospects out there, And now DeWine is pushing into an investigation on this. This is getting DeWine's attention, the governor of Ohio, and what has to be the weirdest, most what on earth scandal in the history of high school football. And the OHSAA and everyone there is obviously going to be involved in it. I mean, it just makes no sense. This is one of the craziest scandals I've ever heard. I've never heard of Bishop Sycamore until this year. I thought Bishop Sycamore, like Sycamore Street from It's a Wonderful Life. That was the first thing I could think of. I'm like, that's kind of a weird name. Indiana State Sycamores as well, where Larry Bird went. I'm like, that is a weird name. And now they're getting memes all over the place. People saying Cam Newton is now signing with Bishop Sycamore. And you know what? If we play Bishop Sycamore, the Hornets, I think we could win that game. Oh my goodness. And the sad part is that despite being significantly older than the high school players, they were losing. They were losing every game they were playing. They didn't even put up a fight against Archbishop Hoban. If you recall, it was like, I don't know, 42-0, similar to what Virgin Catholic did. This makes no sense at all. I'm still yet to wrap my head around this. OHSAA's into it, DeWine's into it, everyone in the sports world's into it. ESPN is into it, televising one of their games. And for those that think ESPN is good and relevant, which they're not, ESPN has obviously seen better days for so many reasons. Oh my God. How does ESPN broadcast a fake high school? That is the dumbest thing. How does a fake high school go to the Tom Benson Hall of Fame Stadium in Canton, where ESPN is broadcasting it, unbeknownst to everyone, that there is no such thing as a Bishop Sycamore? I'm trying to look up who Bishop Sycamore was. Bishop Sycamore Bishop. It is nobody. God is face palming in heaven right now. I could tell you that. But you know what? We're not face palming Highland, and neither is Kirtland, who won 47-0. What a shocker there. Kirtland's so good at high school football, but so is Lutheran West. Benedictine beat Toledo Central Catholic, and hopefully these schools aren't total farce. 24-14. Avon Lake beat Brecksville 41-14. Stowe beat Barberton 37-22. Solon took down Shaker Heights 33-20. Strongsville beat Midview 28-12. Massillon Washington took down Glen Oak 34-0. Austintown Fitch beat Canton McKinley 42-28. By the way, Canton McKinley played at the exact same spot that ESPN broadcasted Bishop Sycamore's game. Oh my goodness, if I'm ESPN, if I'm the leader of ESPN, I am not doing another high school football game for a long time. And you guys won 23-17, I believe. Last week recap, I went 12-4 with 13 picks. My lock of the week was correct. My upset, unfortunately, didn't win. I was wrong about Hudson Virgin Catholic at Austintown Fitch as well. And there weren't too many upsets this week. And I, for one, would like to say during week one, I am glad that I did not pick Bishop Sycamore. I was thinking, you know what? They're in Columbus. It's a religious school. They might have a chance against Archbishop Hoban. But I'm like, you know what? I've never heard of them. It's a weird name. Imagine if I took Bishop Sycamore to beat Archbishop Hoban. Oh my goodness, I'd probably have to retire. Woo-wee. Quite the story. Now time for Tommy's Picks, which features college football now. Number 15, Brunswick against number 24, Highland. Highland is going to upset Brunswick at the Mart. That's right, Brunswick Auto Mart Stadium. And then St. Ed's against Mentor, number 1 against number 2. Big game. I think St. Ed's is going to narrowly win it, but don't be shocked if Mentor wins. I think Mentor could still win it. Medina against Wadsworth. I'm picking Medina to win that. And then Stowe against Solon. Lock of the week, folks. Lock of the week. Going to be the Stowe Monroe Falls Bulldogs. And then Strongsville against Brecksville Broadview Heights. Brecksville is 0-2. Something's got to give for these Bees. And I think something's going to give for them with a win. Same with Euclid. Something's got to give for the Euclid Panthers. I think they should win that. Chardon against Ursuline. I'm picking Chardon to win that game. Should be a good one right there. Avon playing Glenville. Glenville trying to sneak into the top 25 in Northeast Ohio. Going to take Avon to win it. Lorraine against the red-hot Elyria. The Elyria Pioneers doing really well. I'm picking the Pioneers to win. Then you have Berea Mid-Park, which has been struggling this year. 0-2 against St. Francis de Sales, which is in Columbus. I'm picking St. Francis de Sales. Mayfield against Nordonia. They typically play each other. Nordonia knocking on the door of the top 25 in Northeast Ohio. I think they can get in there with a win, perhaps. Tiffin Columbia against Avon Lake. Going to pick the Shoremen. And then Norwalk against the Olmsted Falls Bulldogs. Bulldogs, of course, lost last week, I believe. But this time I think they're going to win this week. Hudson against Harding. Going to pick the Explorers. They're doing well. And Austintown Fitch to beat Glen Oak. And then for college football, UCF against Boise State. Going to pick UCF. Then Minnesota against you guys, Ohio State. I think you guys are going to win. Lock of the week going to go to the Buckeyes. They're that good. Wisconsin playing Penn State. I'm picking the Wisconsin Badgers to beat Penn State. But next year, Penn State's going to have Drew Hauer, and that's going to be really fun to see. Michigan against Western Michigan. Going to pick Michigan. Alabama against Miami. Picking the Crimson Tide because they always win. The victory bell is on the line this Saturday when Cincinnati plays Miami, Ohio. Going to pick Cincinnati. Iowa playing Indiana. Going to pick Iowa. It's at Kinnick. Here's my upset of the week. I think the Raging Cajuns should take down Texas at what should be a big game there at Texas. Auburn hosting Akron. Should be fun. Go Zips. I want the Zips to win. I'd love for the Zips to win. I want the Zips to upset Auburn at the Plains, but it's not going to happen. From a giant crowd at Jordan Hare, one of the most electric places in all college football, I'm picking the Tigers. Texas A&M against Kent State, picking Texas A&M. USC playing San Jose State, I think the Trojans are going to win. Clemson against Georgia, big game. When Clemson's Trevor Lawrence-less, I don't know if DJ Uyunglele will be good enough for Clemson. I'm picking Georgia. UCLA against LSU, picking LSU. And finally, my team, Notre Dame, they're playing Florida State at Florida State. Will be a big crowd, definitely an emotional one for Florida State because, of course, their legendary coach Bobby Bowden passed away a few weeks ago. So that's definitely they're probably going to have a tribute to him before the game. And I'll be looking forward to that game. And hopefully Notre Dame wins it. That would be nice. Go Irish, by the way. Go Notre Dame. Now time for the moment you've all been waiting for. The 2021 NFL preview. That's right. It starts off with my division winners. The Buffalo Bills going to win the East. The Browns, we're going to win the AFC North. And Baltimore will have to settle with wild card number 1. I'm calling it. Tennessee wins the AFC South. And Kansas City wins the AFC West. Your wild cards will be Miami, Free Willy, that's right, Free Willy, Indianapolis, and Baltimore. In the NFC East, it is a free-for-all. I think Saquon Barkley will lead the New York Giants to a NFC least division. Oh, God have mercy on us if they win. Then you have the Green Bay Packers win the North, and no surprise there. No surprise for the Buccaneers to win the South. And the NFC best, not the West, the best. I think Seattle will squeak it out. Your wild cards will be Los Angeles, San Francisco, Arizona. That's right. Everyone, the NFC best is going to make it. AFC wild card, you're going to see Buffalo beat Free Willy. And then Tennessee going to take down Indy. And here's my thinking with Baltimore beating Cleveland. If you remember in 2019, I said we were going to make the playoffs and Baker Mayfield was going to be MVP. And obviously it didn't happen. And then 2020 said we were going to be horrible and we were going to suck. And then it turns out that we didn't. So my thinking is if I pick the Browns to leave first round, I won't jinx them. So, yes, here's to not jinxing them. NFC wildcard, Tampa beats Arizona. Going to see San Francisco take down Seattle and Los Angeles beat New York. Of course, the Giants or anyone the NFC least will not have a shot. AFC divisional round, Patrick Mahomes and Kansas City going to take down the Ravens. And Tennessee going to beat Buffalo. And then NFC divisional, Packers to beat 49ers and the Rams to beat the Buccaneers. And then AFC Championship, Chiefs to beat the Titans. NFC Championship, the Rams against the Packers. Packers choke every year in the playoffs. They haven't been to the Super Bowl in 11 years. I'm picking the Los Angeles Rams. And then Super Bowl, Chiefs beat the Rams. So time for award predictions. I think Patrick Mahomes is going to win MVP. Nick Chubb winning Offensive Player of the Year. Myles Garrett winning Defensive Player of the Year. Trevor Lawrence, Offensive Rookie of the Year. Greg Newsome, Defensive Rookie of the Year. And Joe Judge of the New York Giants of the NFC least, I believe, to win Coach of the Year. Oh, God have mercy on those lousy Giants and that lousy division. Good heavens. Woo-wee. Time for big games. Big games. Starts off with week 1. Buccaneers against the Cowboys. Bucs receive rings. Chiefs against the Browns. We're going to get revenge. Mark my words. We will get revenge for the no call last year. Getting revenge. Let's get revenge on Patrick Mahomes. Mahomes after the game will be like,
oh my God, I can't believe we lost to the Browns. I can't believe I need to retire now because I lost to the Cleveland Browns. Should have happened in January.
That's how Patrick Mahomes speaks. Week 2, Free Willy played Buffalo. Seahawks played the Titans. That was my original prediction for Super Bowl last year. Of course, they were both first-round exits, of course. Ravens, Chiefs, Sunday night. Next week, you have the Rams and the Bucs, a potential playoff matchup. 49ers and Packers, a Sunday night potential playoff matchup. Then week 4, Tom Brady returns to New England, where the Patriots play the Bucs on Sunday night. Week 5, Seahawks play the Rams on Thursday night, and a rematch of the AFC Championship that Sunday when the Chiefs play the Bills. Week 6, the Titans will play the Bills on Monday night. Then week 7, we'll have a Thursday night game. We play the Broncos. Not to mention the Titans play the Chiefs, which will be a potential playoff matchup. Week 8, we play the Steelers, and we will beat the tar out of the Steelers because the Steelers are super terrible. They couldn't even beat them. They're more focused on TikTok than they are on the game. They're more focused on social media than they are on the game. Good heavens. Week 9, potential Super Bowl matchup with the Chiefs playing the Packers and the Rams playing the Titans. Another potential Super Bowl matchup. Week 10, Packers play Seahawks. That could be in the potential playoff matchup. And 49ers play the Rams. A good division match on Monday night. Week 11, we see a rematch of the infamous 28-3 collapse when the Falcons play the Patriots. Then week 12, Thanksgiving games of the Lions and Bears, the Cowboys Raiders, and the Saints Bills. Week 13, Seahawks play the 49ers. Week 14, Browns play the Ravens. And, of course, we play them in Week 12 as well. Week 14, going to be a good one between the Browns and the Ravens. We're going to win the big game because we're home. And we're going to get revenge on that Monday night classic that we should have won if only Lamar Jackson was using the restroom a little more than he did, because as we all know, Lamar Jackson had to use the restroom. He, despite claiming not to have pulled a Paul Pierce, obviously pulled a Paul Pierce. Cardinals play the Rams on Monday night, and then the Rams play the Seahawks, which will be an NFC West matchup. Should be good. Week 16, Packers play the Browns on Christmas Day, and the Packers are going to be on Santa's naughty list, and the Browns are going to be on the nice list. And we're going to get a bunch of presents for Christmas Day. And the Cardinals play the Colts. And then that's also on Christmas Day. Week 17, Monday night, Steelers play the Browns. And the Browns are going to win Heinz Field. That Steelers-Browns game last year in the playoffs was the best game the Browns had at Heinz Field since the 2003 Sunday night massacre against Pittsburgh, where the bus crashed into a giant brick wall. Week 18, you have NFC West of the Cardinals, Seahawks, and Rams 49ers. Time for our last slide to present to you. Rookie watch. Trevor Lawrence, Zach Wilson, Trey Lance, Justin Fields, and now the new starting quarterback of the Patriots, Mac Jones. Of course, Cam Newton got cut. Greg Newsome and J.O.K. for the Browns. Kyle Pitts, Devontae Smith, Heisman winner. Jalen Waddle, a Free Willy, and Najee Harris, who will be ruined by TikTok. That is a guarantee. Then time for Dream Fantasy Team 1. First, Lamar Jackson. Your running backs are Nick Chubb, Derrick Henry. Receivers, Devontae Adams, Tyreek Hill. Tight end, Travis Kelce. Flex, Christian McCaffrey. Kicker is Harrison Butker. And defense is Cleveland. That's right, go Cleveland. I just have a feeling that with Myles Garrett and Jadeveon Clowney and J.O.K. and Greg Newsome, the fact that we went out there to build a defense. Really goes to show you how much we really care this team. Got to hurry up now. Dream Fantasy team number 2, Patrick Mahomes, Saquon Barkley, Aaron Jones, Odell Beckham Jr., Jarvis Landry, George Kittle, Amari Cooper, Ryan Suckup, and Baltimore's defense. Dream Fantasy team number 3, Russell Wilson. I think he has something in the tank. Same with Joe Mixon, who's on one of my fantasy teams. Alvin Kamara, Michael Thomas, DK Metcalf, Austin Hooper, the Browns, who's very good, Justin Tucker, and Tampa's defense. How about that? We talked about the Indians/Guardians. We talked about NASCAR. We talked about the crazy story of Bishop Sycamore. We talked about last week's picks. We talked about this week's picks. We talked about football, all within about 27 minutes, and I don't think I have that much time left, so I'm going to make it quick. I'm Tommy Maroon here, and I will see you next week.
You are watching WCTV, Wadsworth Community Television.